Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. And I've got a little vino tonight, a vino rosado. So it's true crime with a glass of wine tonight. Now then, tonight I'm going to tell you about Amber Gibson. Now, I've got to be honest, when I started looking properly into this case, I'd heard of this case. But when I started looking into all the details, I almost just didn't do it. I've been doing the Scottish cases in the build up to Burns Night, looking at some Scottish murders. This is the last one that I'll do. I'm sorry for anyone who's made any other suggestions and I haven't any members, because the members can make the suggestions for cases. But this one just about finished me off. So I'm sorry I didn't do it last night. But by the time I'd finished work last night, I was so tired, I didn't feel that I could do justice to Amber. And Amber was a young girl of 16, only 16 years of age. And she had a short life, and it probably wasn't a very nice life. Though there were times, I think, when she was happy and she was being looked after. But anyway, you'll hear all about that in the video. But it's such a nasty case on so many levels. Just horrible, really. So I just want to warn you now. It's a particularly disagreeable case, I think. And I literally nearly didn't do the video. Then I did the video. Then I thought about not actually showing it because I thought it's so depressing, to be honest. Just the levels of disrespect that Amber was shown by members of her family as well as strangers. And then I thought, no, because, people like Amber, they need a voice. Amber doesn't have a voice. Amber had a very short life and she was disrespected by so many people, treated so badly. But she deserves to have a voice. But I didn't do it last night because I was, as I say, I was tired. I didn't feel like I could do it justice. This case deserves a lot of passion because, if you're passionate about injustice, you will get annoyed about this case. So just to let you know that. Now, it is, I recorded it. You see, I think that was the other reason why I didn't feel like it last night, because it was playing on my mind from actually recording the video, etc. I just couldn't get it out of my mind. I still haven't managed to get it out of my mind, to be honest. So anyway, I'm going to present the video to you tonight. We're going to go through Amber's story, and I'm sure you'll get just as angry as I am about this whole thing. But at least Amber will have a voice, and I hope Amber is at peace now, wherever she is. I hope there is an afterlife, and I hope in the afterlife Amber got better breaks than she got in real life. So first of all, I'm going to say hello to everybody. I don't want to depress you all. Oh, so we have a new member, the blind leading the blind, and I will welcome you properly in the members live. So remember, for members, the members live this week will be tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and we're going to look over that documentary, Dan Walker, Paul Ansell, Peter Falding, Mark Williams Thomas, Emma, and an ex-police lady. The police declined to take part. But that's what we're going to be looking at tomorrow, and I'll welcome you to the family then. But thank you for joining. So, hi Kelly, hi David, hi Tina, hi Desi, hi Exotic, hi Charlie, hi Amethyst, hi Lady Dog Lover, also known as Jean, hi Rio, Oh, you're not in the mood for kung fu. Well, this isn't going to cheer you up much. So I'm going to try and do something cheerful at the end, because we'll need something cheerful at the end. You'll be wishing you were at kung fu after you've watched this, but only so you probably feel like kung fu in a few people after this. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Hi, Pat Valentino. That is certainly one thing you'll be able to say about this poor girl's story. It is interesting, but not interesting in a good way. Okay, so let's start the video. So I'm going to be playing you a video that I made, if you like, but I will be commenting. I'm here obviously, and I will be commenting on it as we go along. But I put the video together yesterday, so it makes me so angry, this case. I can't tell you. I don't know whether I'm sad or angry. Well, I'm both. And you don't know, I'm just angry at everyone for this case. It just feels like this poor girl, 16-year-old girl. Anyway, let's have a look at the video and then you'll see what I mean. Oh. No, hang on, I'm doing the wrong thing as usual. Right, let's try again. Video file. So hold on to your hats. Hi, Chumba. Hey, so it's me, Vicky Marie. Two Vickies. And this video that I'm doing today, the case that I'm going to talk to you about tonight, if you're watching my... Hi, Yvonne. I'll try and remember. See, the good thing about having prepared the video is I can join in the chat with you guys. Video for the first time. My name's Vicky. I like to do videos about true crime, but not only true crime, anything that I think my chatterati might be interested in. And this week, we're coming up to the 25th of January, 2024, which will be Burns Night. And for those of you who don't know, Burns is a very famous Scottish poet. And on Thursday night, live on my channel, we will be having a Burns Night party, which is a tradition for Scottish people. And it's just really, we're going to have a lot of good fun. So coming up to Burns Night, I've been doing a series of videos on crimes, murders in particular, in Scotland. And we're trying to learn some sort of moral or lesson in take something positive out of these crimes that I've been reporting on. Now, I have to warn you, if you're tonight's is, I think, particularly sad, and I am struggling to find anything positive out of this, but I still feel this case, it has to be reported on, because this young girl, I'm going to talk about Amber Gibson, who was only 16 years of age. And this young girl, she deserves a voice, because she doesn't have a voice now, because she's been taken from this earth. And I want to tell her story because she deserves having her story told. And she was let down by so many people. It's a very, very sad story, but we'll find some lessons along the way, I hope. And I hope, something positive can come out of this. But I need to warn you, if you're of a sensitive disposition, this is an extremely, probably sadder than most. They're all sad. All true crime is sad, of course. As soon as you're talking about the loss of someone's life, then obviously it's sad. But some cases are just next level. And this, unfortunately, is one of them. So we're going to start off, and I'd just like to say I do a few videos a week normally, depending on, I don't have a specific schedule, but if you want to see any more of my content, apart from the fact there's lots of content, if you look around my playlists, etc., there's lots of content to watch, or hopefully maybe you'll subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification bell. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's already subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you to my members. Thank you to anyone who's supported my channel in any way, shape or form. Thank you so much, because we're all, you're helping me to give these people a voice, these victims, and especially Amber Gibson. So we're going to start off by having a look at some pictures of Amber. As I say, Amber was only 14 years old. Let's have a look at her. Oh, so this is Amber when she was young. Amber did not have the best start in life. She was adopted or fostered. She was fostered at the age, she was 3. She was fostered along with her brother by Craig Niven and his wife Carol. And Amber was only 3 when she was fostered by this family. It was a bad start in life for both of them, for both her and her brother Connor, who was 3 years older, because their father, Peter Gibson, had sexually assaulted 2 young boys and also assaulted an RAPD'd a woman. And so it seemed like, you know, good things were going to happen when they were adopted or fostered by Craig Niven and his wife Carol. And they already had an older child. So let's have a look at some more pictures of Amber. You can see that Amber was a very, very attractive girl, 16-year-old girl. Apparently, she loved life. Craig and his wife Carol described Amber as the most giving, caring, loving, supportive, and admirable person. She apparently had a love of art and singing, and she had an amazing outlook on life. So she looks very happy and, you know, typical 16-year-old, really, doesn't she, is how she looks. Yeah. She looks a bit more sad in this picture. I don't actually like this photograph. This is a photograph that was probably more in the media. She's a little bit older there. Some things had happened to her by then. It's funny how you can almost see it in her face, can't you? You know, this is the young girl, happy, smiley, a whole world in front of her, whole life in front of her. And then I think you can see on this later photo perhaps a darker look in her eyes, because she did have some very unfortunate experiences even before the worst experience that happened to her on the 28th of November 2022. So this was the family. The older sister was much older, basically, so was not so much in the family dynamic at home. This is Amber, and this is her brother Connor when they were all a family together. Now, the foster parents, Craig and Carol, did say, although they were brother and sister, they did not get on very well, and it was difficult to leave them together because they just did not get on, according to the foster parents. Anyway, I'm not sure what happened. Oh, sorry, this is Amber with her older sister. and her older sister's partner. Laura, her sister was Laura and her husband Edward. So that's a beautiful picture. Looks like maybe the wedding day. Again, another beautiful picture. So this is Amber. This is who we're talking about. Now, before I start this video for you, I just want to tell you what happened. So, unfortunately, Amber, for some unknown reason, she was, by the time of 16, living in a home again. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, why she went to a home, why she left the foster home and ended up in a children's home. I think she was probably in and out of homes. She had a very, very unfortunate upbringing, as did her brother, of course. He also did. Anyway, on the in November 2022, she set off to meet her brother at, in a nearby park, Kadzau Park, which is a very beautiful sort of natural park. And she set off to meet her brother there, or meet him before that, and they ended up in there anyway. And then unfortunately on the 28th of November 2022, Amber's body was found in that park. Somebody came across it and she was covered in mud. Her clothes had been removed and were found nearby. And she had been very badly assaulted and just covered over with some foliage, etc. So this is where the investigation starts. So this is when, just after her body had been found, and the police gave a press conference about it. I'm just going to put that back to the beginning. Now, I just want to say this guy, he speaks very quietly, so I hope you can hear it okay. Oh, I haven't got it on the full volume. Let me put it on the full volume. Okay.
So at this time, we've commenced a murder investigation. The police the tragic death of Gibson 16 from here in Hamilton. What we are under this system. So we're trying to piece together and remember what we do is select a home address and but last thing I'm just showing you the moment break the night and cancel shares. So this is from here. Following up on that, I've just had a missing person. I would say the police acted in defense of the Samba. Most of the tragic was described Sunday morning at that stage. Thus far, actions are true. Together with the last Samba, I understand she was doing obviously from that, like together that understanding she has a business acumen that will assist in investigation responsible for this.
So what had happened to Amber? So she apparently at the time was staying at the Hill House children's home. So again, as I say, I'm not actually absolutely certain why she was staying there, but that's where she was. So the police set out to find out what had happened to poor Amber. You know, this lovely 16-year-old girl just found there naked, her body hidden, her clothes nearby. very serious injuries, sexually assaulted, strangled, blunt force trauma to the head and body. What had happened to her? So they started their investigation, as the police guys is saying there. And what turns up, because they didn't know at the time immediately, but one of the first things they found when they started checking on CCTV was this picture of Amber, this CCTV of Amber with her brother Connor, who's 21 years old. Now, so this is the brother that the foster parents had said that they could, they could never really be left together, or that, they didn't seem to get on very well together. But apparently she was really looking forward to meeting him. She'd put a post on Facebook, on Snapchat or whatever, saying she was going to meet her brother, etc. So she didn't seem to feel that she was in any danger of any kind. Unfortunately, she was in danger. She was in a lot of danger, and she didn't even know it. Now, how he'd sort of convinced her to go to Cadzau Park, I don't know, or what reason they went there. Maybe they bought some alcohol to drink, or maybe, who knows? Only he knows that. Only Connor knows that. And of course, he denied everything. This is Connor. So Connor Gibson is 21 years old, or was 21 years old at the time. You've got to wonder, so why was he saying he hadn't seen her when then CCTV came out to show that, yes, indeed, he had seen her. He had been with her that evening. Anyway, more CCTV came out, and I'm going to show you that now. Again, go back to the beginning. So this is CCTV of Connor leaving the place where he was staying, which was the Blue Triangle Homeless Hostel in Hamilton, and going out and disposing of items. It just amazes me that these people, I mean, I'm glad that he did it, because that led to him being caught and convicted, but don't they know this CCTV? I mean, and don't they know that as one of the people closest to someone, you're going to be one of the first people that's going to be looked at? The first thing the police are going to look at is CCTV outside where you live. I mean, they're not exactly, it's not rocket science, is it? How do they think they're going to get away with it? So he was disposing of his clothes that were blood-stained. That's what he was disposing of in there. Anyway, that's... and the police later found, because again, as we've talked about on other videos, the rubbish is not taken away that often, is it, in the UK? So they were still there when the police went to look. Now, this is a video, I think, a bit later on, And this is the only time I've heard of him showing, well, he's not exactly showing remorse, but he looks like things are getting on top of him. Maybe the enormity of what he's done has just hit him in that moment. Let's just watch that video. I have another similar video that I'm going to show you as well. So yeah, his trial lasted for 13 days. He was found guilty. Now, 2 days after her death, he posted a tribute to her on Facebook. I mean, you know, honestly, listen, this is not the worst either of this case. We just talked, there are 3 twonks involved in this case of poor Amber Gibson. She was let down by 3 men. But this, I suppose, is the worst because this was her brother. But it doesn't stop there, unfortunately. This poor girl, it's just unbelievable. The life really that she had is so sad. And then to end up being murdered by your own brother, and not only that, sexually assaulted, beat over the head, left, you know, naked in the woods, and he's just there trying to cover his tracks, which he didn't manage to do. Let's look at the next video. It's very similar. CCTV everywhere. You know, did he not know that? How did he think he would not be seen? So we've got some different angles here of the CCTV. Here he is coming back, thinking, oh, that's okay, got rid of that, idiot. Right, okay, let's just look at that one again. It's just slightly different from the other. It's got a little bit of extra CCTV. And there's a line put around him when he's in the background disposing of everything. So they'd been seen on CCTV together at 10 o'clock, whereas 90 minutes later, when he came back and he went like that on against the fence, when he leaned against the fence, he was alone. That was 90 minutes later. Anyway, the evidence was mounting up against him. Apart from the CCTV, her DNA was on his shorts, on his jacket. you know, so it was more or less a bit of a slam dunk case, what with the CCTV and the DNA. So apparently, how it was found at the trial anyway, he had, for some unknown reason, you know, he must have taken her to that park deliberately. He had removed her clothes. He had sexually assaulted her with the intent to rape. He had inflicted blunt force trauma to her head and her body and strangled her. And the judge described him as depraved in the 13-day trial in the High Court in Glasgow. Now, I must say, I'm glad I'm not a judge in the High Court in Glasgow, because I've done a few cases leading up to this Burns night. I've decided I'm not doing any more Scottish murders, because this one has pretty much finished me off, to be honest. So I'm just looking forward to the Burns night. Now, I probably will do another video before the Burns night, but it won't be a murder video, because I found this one very, very harrowing. Okay, so you'd think, oh, Connor, all right, this is an awful case, but he's been caught. And of course, it's doubly awful because he's her brother. But he was jailed for life with a minimum term of 22 years. Bearing in mind, he's only 21 years old, so he'll literally be in his early 40s when he comes out. You tell me that is justice. I'm getting so angry about these sentences. I mean, this is not, you know, like a, I don't know, what's the word? I mean, it's not just like daft things that teenagers do, like, you know, might get caught with a joint, or might be doing this, or might be doing that, or shoplifting, or this is not that. This is the murder and attempted rape of your own sister. And that is the maximum. The minimum that he's got to serve 22 years. Now, the thing is, they in Scotland particularly, they are, anyone under 25, they are more lenient on, apparently. Which leads me to a couple of other twonks in this case. So isn't that bad enough? That in itself would be a true crime video, wouldn't it? You wouldn't need anything else, would you? You wouldn't need this twonk, who's not even young. So this twonk, believe it or not, he's only 45. He might look a lot older than that, but he's 45 years old. This is Stephen Corrigan. Stephen Corrigan is a father of two. So what has he got to do with this case, you might wonder? Well, the thing is, when they found poor Amber, and when they did the forensic research on poor Amber, not only they found her brother's DNA on there, but they found this twonk's DNA on there as well. And this, he was not known to them. He stumbled across her body in that park. And did he ring the police? No. Oh, no, he didn't ring the police. In some ways, I think he's even worse. I know he's not, you know, but he is, because he's 45. He's a father of two children. He did not phone the police. You know what he did? He interfered with her body. So he intimately touched her, and then he concealed her body. DNA of his was found on 39 areas of her body, including her breasts, her buttocks, and her thighs. This man is a monster, a monster. Anyway, he is in prison now as well. His father had given him an alibi. But anyway, he's in prison. He has received, guess how many years he's received? A 9-year sentence. So he's received a 9-year sentence for defiling a corpse and concealment. Because you know what he did after that? He then hid her body after he'd messed around with her body like the most revolting, horrible person that you can imagine, a father of 2 children, after he'd interfered intimately with her body, then concealed her. Was he planning on going back and having another go? I mean, for God's sake, this man, I don't know what his wife thinks of him, but my God, just revolting man. And he's appealing his conviction. So as far as I know, nothing's happened yet, hasn't been heard, but he only received 9 years. I mean, I know he didn't kill her, but come on. The sentence for that, 9 years, defiling that poor girl's body, defiling that poor girl as if she'd not gone through enough, for the lack of respect that he showed, as if he's found someone there who's obviously, evidently been attacked and probably assaulted sexually. Instead of filling him with revulsion and pity for her, it turned him on. What a horror. He's like, ugh. Anyway, but it doesn't stop there. So this poor girl, Amber, how many indignities can a person suffer in their lives? Because then it results that not only she's been murdered and attempted RAP by her own brother, then she's been really what he's done is more or less necrophilia, really. Her corpse has been interfered by this horrible twonk. But then it turns out that several months before her murder, and let me move on now to see another nice person, this man, Jamie Starr's 20 years of age, several months before her murder, he had RAPE'd Amber. So she'd suffered an RAPE before from this man. And he was jailed for 10.5 years. Again, because of his youth, he was given a more lenient sentence. I'm sorry, I don't think it makes no difference to me. Not in these sort of cases. Yes, if it was shoplifting, yes, but not in these sort of cases. R.I.P. That's like saying, oh, well, it's just what young boys do. Give him another chance. He didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. Most young boys don't do that. So I would not give them any leniency. He's just a horrible twonk because he has actually done the same thing to another young girl. So it's not only Amber. So in June 2021, he assaulted and RAP'd Amber while she was asleep or unconscious in a property in Bothwell. And he was also convicted of the same thing of another teenage girl in Bothwell in May 2021. So, what's he going to say? It was just a mistake. Oh, twice. Anyway, so these attacks happened in a supported accommodation unit in Blantyre. Amber told somebody else about it, who then reported it to the police. Amber had woken up naked from the waist down in bed with this boy who she didn't even know. She'd only met him that day, and she could not remember hugging him, kissing him, having any intimate contact with him. But she woke up naked from the waist down, and he was naked in the bed beside her. So, well, you can use your imagination and imagine must have been some Rofinol or something involved. But anyway, he will always be on the sex offenders register, this boy, but he was given a lesser sentence due to his age. It's a twonk. So there you go. So we've got 3 twonks there. This is her brother, let her down, tried to rape her, murdered her. This grown man, 42-year-old man, father of two, interfered with her body after she was dead. And this guy, months before she was murdered, poor Amber, you know, it's just like, you just think, how much more can happen to someone? Nothing more can happen, because once you've been murdered, that's about it. Let's go back to this little girl. Do you know, I think you might understand from watching this why I'm not doing any more MURDERs. I'm just waiting for Burns Night now, and we're going to have some fun on Burns Night and try and, I don't know, this has just left. Anyway, let's see what the judge had to say. I'll put it back to the beginning. Oh, when he sentenced her. Yeah, neither of them had the best start in life. But, you know, Amber didn't go out and do these things. I'm sick of these excuses. I really am sick of excuses. So many people don't have the best start in life, but they don't go off and do these things. We've got to stop taking these things as excuses, because they're not excuses. They're just horrible people. And this is Judge Mulholland. And my God, I wouldn't want his job. It's bad enough for me just to make this one video. The thought of, you know, going and listening to these cases day in, day out, how awful. So that's what the judge had to say to him. Now we're going to have a look what the police had to say.
A 20-year-old man has been convicted of murdering 16-year-old Amber Gibson. Amber was reported missing from the Hamilton area on Friday, 26 November 2021, and her body was discovered near the Catsall Glen on Sunday, 20th November 2021. At High Court in Glasgow today, Conor Gibson was convicted of murder and attempted to defeat the end of justice. Another man, Stephen Corrigan, aged 45, was also found guilty in this case, attempting to defeat the ends of justice, breach of the peace. It's hard to imagine how difficult this has been for Amber's family and friends, and our thoughts are very much with her. I hope that this conviction brings some comfort to them. That for both Gibson and Corrigan leaves them beneath contempt. This was a challenging and complex investigation involving a range of specialist officers from within Scotland, working closely with our partners in forensic services, all of whom I would pay tribute to for their professionalism and dedication those carrying out their work. I'd like to thank the victims of public life which undoubtedly assisted in securing this conviction.
So this is the Foster family leaving court. Now, I'm not sure what had gone wrong, why Amber was no longer in there. You know, maybe it's because she was 16. At the end of the day, when you're 16, you go wherever you like. And, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of all the family dynamics. But anyway, this was them just leaving the court. Okay, so let's just go back to the beginning and have another look at Amber, because she's what matters. She's who matters in this case. It's just so sad. Just so sad. This poor girl. You could see there's something different in her face there. I've seen that. It's like she went from it. This is how quick children change. They go from being just like a little boy or girl to an adult, but she looks more sad there, doesn't she? As if you just don't know what had happened in the meantime, whether that was after she'd been RAPD'd or whether, I don't know. And everyone knows that, unfortunately, care homes, etc., they're not easy places for people to work, and they attract bad people sometimes because, the children in there, they're vulnerable, so they do attract bad people working there. Then of course there's the other children that are in there, and once they get into teenage years, etc., it's a whole different ball game, isn't it? So poor Amber. Well, Amber, I hope you're at peace. I hope you're at peace now. The world just failed you completely. Society failed Amber. We start with her father, who was a bloody sex offender, then her own brother, who's ended up murdering her, then some twonk who doesn't even know her stumbles across her body and decides to interfere with it rather than report it to the police. And then a few months before that, she's been violated by another boy who's in the care system. So Amber was let down. I'm struggling to think of like the moral, if you like, or the positivity in this story. But something. What can be done? What can be done to help these children through no fault of their own, who end up in the care system, and some go a bad way, like her brother Connor. Why has he ended up like that? Why has he ended up doing that to her? And then the other boy, Jamie, who raped her. But then, what about the other guy, the man, Stephen Corrigan? So she's been let down by society in general, this girl. I just hope she's at peace now, and, I just hope that if there is like another life, an afterlife, I just hope that Amber's getting a better deal there than the deal that she got in this life. Bless her. So, okay, that's it. That's the very sad story of Amber. And I'm sorry, I know it will have left you feeling melancholy, as it does me. But all we can do is pray for Amber. I hope her family and her friends are, finding some sort of peace as well, because I know that they feel very guilty about it all. But the only person, or the only people are guilty, are those three twonks. Jamie Stars, you're a twonk. Connor Gibson, you're an even bigger twonk. And Stephen Corrigan, a grown man. You, in some ways, you're the worst of all, because you're a father of two yourself. How could you do that? How could you do that? What you did? Just how could anyone even go anywhere near you now? After what you did, you should be ostracized completely. I hope, I don't know how that'll go down in prison, but probably not very well. Yeah. Anyway, so the last thing I want to say is my thoughts and my prayers are with Amber, and I hope Amber's at peace. And I'm just sorry, Amber, that this world let you down so much. So, okay, so remember to live and love wisely, carefully. Okay, I'm still here. I'm not going yet. So that was the video that I did. So I'm glad I recorded that video, because just going, it's very hard to tell that story without getting upset, for someone like me. I sort of go in between getting really angry and then I burst into tears. I just cannot not get emotional about about Amber's story, because I just feel for her, and I know some of you feel for the others. I don't really, because Amber was the victim in my eyes, and Amber was brought up just the same way as her brother was, and she didn't turn out to be a nasty twonk. So I've got a bit sick of excuses, and the mental health excuse that some people do suffer badly from mental health. Of course they do, but I think you've got to be careful of it turning into an excuse that everybody uses these days, isn't it? Oh yeah, what about people that have mental health issues? Face life every day, get up and face the world. They're heroes to me. People who have real mental health issues. They don't go out murdering people. They don't go out, raping women or finding bodies in parks and then assaulting the body. It's an insult to blame everything on mental health, because people deal with mental health and they don't do horrible things. So, sometimes people do things because they are not nice people. I think we have to accept that some people are not nice. And sometimes people who have all the benefits of the best background, the best upbringing, do horrible things. So I think you've got to be careful. That's the way I feel at the moment anyway. I know lots of people who are severely abused, and they don't go out and do horrible things to other people. So that's I think you can't cater for that. You can blame it on, oh, poor film, this, that, but so many people have those sort of upbringings and don't do those things, and so many people have really good upbringings and do those kind of things. Some people are just twonks. But anyway, people deal with childhood trauma in different ways. Lots of people have childhood trauma and don't do horrible things. That's the only point I'm trying to say. Of course, mental illness is real. Nobody's saying it's not real. What I'm saying is mental illness is not an excuse for going out and doing horrible things to other people, because lots of people who have mental illness do not do horrible things to other people. So I won't accept it as an excuse. Definitely not. So anyway, so it did get to me, that case, as I think you've realised. I think it got to me more. Cases do get to you sometimes. Some cases get to you more than others, and that one did. I think just because I just felt that little girl. To me, she was a little girl. She might have been 16. I expect she thought she was a grown-up woman, like 16-year-olds do. But she wasn't. She was a little girl, and it just seemed like wherever she turned, even after she was dead, she was not safe from abuse. Even after she was dead, murdered, she was not safe from abuse, from that absolute horror. Who is now appealing his sentence. He got a sentence for 9 years and he's appealing it. Oh my God. Joe, anyway, I've got to stop talking about it because I'm just getting too angry. So let's talk about something fun. So let's talk about the Burns night. So I have got, oh my God, I have had absolute murder trying to, it's just an expression, trying to find tartan in Spain. It's been a nightmare. Anyway, so I've gone to good old Amazon and I've got some tartan arriving tomorrow to wear on Thursday night. Also, I did take some videos, and hopefully I'll get a chance before Thursday night to put the videos together. They're just short videos of like where I went trying to find tartan and trying to find vegetarian haggis, which I haven't managed to find. But I did manage to find a haggis, and I thought, oh, well, I don't really eat meat. I mean, occasionally I do. I'm a bit of I always call myself a failed vegetarian, because every now and again I do sort of have some chicken or something. But I thought, oh, well, it's just for the Burns night anyway. And I thought, oh, well, it'll do just for the stabbing of the haggis, because it's part of the tradition, isn't it? You have to read out the poem Ode to a Haggis and stab it. And I thought, oh, well, it'll do for that. And I thought, oh, well, my son will probably eat it. Well, we've had a look. I brought it home. He had a look at the ingredients, because although he does eat meat, but he just looked at it and he just went, I'm not eating this. So it was, because the ingredients weren't very nice, let's say, as I'm sure you know, haggis. I'm sure it tastes beautiful, but the ingredients are not, I just don't like offal. Even when I was eating meat, I didn't like offal. The thought of it makes me feel ill. So I don't think I'm going to bother with the haggis. I might use that for the stabbing. But I've looked up some recipes of vegetarian haggis, and I might have a go at making myself a haggis. So, I might do that. So Charlie's not got a vegetarian haggis, but Charlie, have you read the ingredients? Oh, dear me, the ingredients are pretty awful. Yeah, I hope you're right, David. I hope when he comes out, which how old is he? 40 something. So he's got a 9-year sentence, which is appealing against. So, he'll only be in his early 50s. Hopefully, I shouldn't wish bad on people, but I just can't help it sometimes. He was a grown man. I mean, it was awful what he did. Oh, what's that? Sorry, Bridget, I must have missed that, what you said. Sorry to hear that, Bridget. Oh, well, this is it. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of people out there just struggling, isn't it, just to face every day. So that's why I don't really feel sorry for them. But I know it tastes nice, David. I have had haggis years ago at the other Burns night that I was at. But the Burns night that I had here, I did try it then. I wasn't not eating meat then, and it tastes nice. It's just the thought of what's in it. Oh dear me, a black pudding. Oh. Anyway, so I have got a haggis, which I'm going to stab. So even if I don't make a vegetarian haggis, because a lot of it is about time as well. So if I don't manage to make a vegetarian haggis, I will use this haggis to stab, to tell the story, to read the poem out, and then I think you're supposed to stab the haggis. And then the dogs will enjoy it. So the dogs have got a nice haggis to look forward to, but I don't think I'll be eating any of it. Oh, bless Bridget. Yeah. So tartan I've got coming tomorrow, but you have to wait till Thursday to see that. What I've got coming. Honest to God, you won't believe how difficult it was. Anyway, good old Amazon. Good old Amazon. I should have just ordered it on Amazon in the first place. And the other thing that I realised today, because for a long time I didn't have a car. And so I'd always been ordering from Amazon or getting shopping delivered. And actually, I've got some shopping being delivered tomorrow, because I just can't stand it out there. It's too peoply, isn't it? Too many people on the roads, like just people driving like nutters, and pedestrians just walking out in front of you and not looking to see where they're going. And then going in the supermarket and people are just standing chatting in the middle of the aisle and blocking up the whole aisle, or coughing all over you, or I've turned into this sort of like, I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to put a big bubble around me, like with a meter around that, just don't come near me sort of thing. Yeah, I've turned into a right bar humbug. But yeah, I'm not a very peoply person. I've never actually liked supermarkets. I like shopping for clothes and things like that. That's okay. But supermarket, going food shopping, I've never liked doing that. I don't know why. It's boring, isn't it? It's boring. But yeah, there's a lot of idiots on the road. I haven't got any bagpipes, but do you know what? I have got some recordings, but I don't know if it's. Jean sent me a really good video that I'd like to play, and I think I might play it at the end or something. The trouble is, you don't know if they're going to get you for copyright. They always try and get you for copyright. But I might play it anyway and just not monetize the video at all, and do it that way. I don't know. Oh, you can't, Bridget. You're working. I'm not doing a Highland dance, Charlie. But why don't you send me a video of you doing a Highland dance, Charlie? Why don't you do a Highland dance, and you can send me a video of that just from. Don't have to show your face so nobody will know who you are. Yeah, I'm going to try it, Jean. I'm going to play it because it's good and it'll get everyone going, and it's good fun. I might just play it in little bits and pieces that normally you can sort of. It's when you try, but oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, they just pick you up for like 30 seconds of something sometimes if they feel like it. But anyway, lots of people have sent Scottish things, so it's great. You still got time, still got tomorrow to send in anything Scottish. And honestly, people have sent in really inventive things. It's not only, tartan or whatever. People have sent in, and people have sent in all sorts of things. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to showing you them all. But yeah. Yeah, we'd all pay good money, won't we, to see Charlie doing a Highland fling in his kilt. I do know how to strip the willow, but I won't be doing it on Thursday night. No, we'll be doing, it'd be like, we'll be just having some fun, and there'll be some poems and there'll be some music, and I'll be dressed up a little bit Scottish, and I'll have some whiskey, and we'll all have it'd just be a bit of fun, won't it? We need a bit of fun. And let me tell you so tomorrow night is the members live for those of you that are members. So remember, we're going to do we're going to look at the interview, Dan Walker, and when he interviewed Paul Ansell all that time ago. So that's nearly a year ago now. And of course, now this new video is coming out on the 2nd of February, a new documentary that's supposed to have unseen footage and, answer questions that have never been answered before. It's very odd, that, isn't it? Now, I'm just wondering, why are they doing that when supposedly this case is finished, isn't it? It's like, we've had the inquest, so move on now. Nothing to see here. We've had the College of Police in review. It's finished. So why are Channel 5 doing another documentary on it with all these unanswered questions? So I'll be looking at that tomorrow night in the members live, and then Thursday is the Burns night. Friday I'm going out again for what buffet with my number one son. But I may do a live later on after that, because I've got another interview, documentary that I'd not seen before that somebody sent me, and so I'd like to show, because it's going to be a funny weekend this weekend for anyone who's been following the Nicola Bulley case, isn't it? Because Nicola went missing on the 27th, the Friday. So this year, Friday, the 27th, of course, is Saturday. So I will definitely be doing some videos, or a video or something on Friday, probably on Saturday as well, maybe all over the weekend. just as a mark of, respect and going over things and see what comes up in this new documentary. It just seems amazing that it has been a year. But why, if after the inquest and the College of Policing review and everything's supposed to be sort of, tidied up and finished and that's it, why is it still being spoken about, not only by us, but by the mainstream media as well? And it's the mainstream media that will always sort of whinge about, I bet in that documentary they have a go at TikTok sleuths or ghouls or armchair detectives and this, that and the other, have a go at them. But they're doing it. They're perpetuating the story. It's like, it's all right for them to do it, but nobody else is supposed to do it. So we'll see what transpires, won't we? We'll see what transpires. Yeah, Kelly reminding us all to shut up. It's like, we're not shutting up. We're going to say more, but you shut up. And no, you just know that they're going to have something to say about TikTok ghouls. They're obsessed with TikTok as well. It's crackers. But you know what? If they want everybody to shut up, maybe they should shut up, and they whinge about, as I say, YouTubers or social media or TikTok. And what is it they're doing? They're trying to get viewers. They're trying, they're not doing it not for viewers. They're like, so apparently they're going to show unseen, like we're going to watch the full video tomorrow night, the full interview that was shown, but you can see that it's edited. And they say they're going to show unseen footage of Paul's interview. And why is Paul even wanting that to happen? Why is he not wanting it all just to be quiet now and everything? I thought they didn't want any more attention from the media. This is what I mean. This is just more contradictions, isn't it, in this case? It's all contradictions. It's nothing but contradictions. So anyway. And also, what happened about Dan being knocked off his bike? Remember, just after that interview, Dan was knocked off his bike. Of course, then after that, Nikki was found. This was the interview. Well, we'll see it tomorrow night, but this is the interview where Paul said she was definitely not in the river. And those were decoys. Everything was a decoy that was left, which he later said at the inquest that no, they always took the harness off. But in this interview, he said he thought they were decoys and it definitely wasn't the river. But anyway, it's another thing. And also, you'll see anyway, I don't want to spoil, but Mark Williams Thomas is on it and Peter Folding, of course, they're good mates. And Peter, it'll come back to bite him in the bum. This, what he said again on this particular documentary. Be interesting to see if he's included in the next one, because he was one of the guests in this documentary, saying his usual, oh, categorically not in the river. So now he's saying, no, she was categorically definitely in the river. Will he be on this next documentary, I wonder? Yeah. Oh, and Willow, because in the interview, she looked terrified of Paul, but, it's hard to say. But anyway, we're going to watch it tomorrow and we'll see. Yeah, David, it could have been a genuine accident, but it's funny. It was like something from Line of Duty, wasn't it? When the big black, because it was one of them great big black cars with the blacked out windows. So that's where it looked like. It just looked like an episode out of Line of Duty. Maybe we'll look at that tomorrow night as well, because of course there was footage of it, wasn't there? So maybe we should look at that. Well, Jean, tomorrow we're going to be looking at the old, the one that was on last year here on the channel, and the other documentary, the part 2, is on the 2nd of February at 9 p.m. on Channel 5. Yeah. Well, Bridget, maybe Paul has sold the house. Maybe the house has been sold, and it's not on the website anymore. So that there's 2 reasons for that. Could have been sold, or maybe just didn't like the attention it was getting. So yeah, he was severely injured actually, Charlie, wasn't he? He was hospitalized. He looked awful. He might be able to see a picture of him actually. Yeah, he was cycling in his home city of Sheffield on the 20th of February. So it was the day after Nicola was found, when he was knocked off his bike at a roundabout. He said he could not remember much about the incident after being knocked unconscious. And he posted a picture of himself online. Let's see if we can find the picture. It was a very graphic picture, I remember. Oh, there it is. Oh, right, I'm going to show it you. So, yeah, gosh. It was, it's quite a graphic picture, isn't it? Hi, Caroline. Yeah, it's just one another thing. It may well have just been an accident, but it's just another thing, isn't it? One day I think I might do it over this weekend, because part of the advertisement for this new documentary on Channel 5 was saying that this will answer questions that have never been answered. And I thought, gosh, I need to sit down and write down the questions I've got and see if this documentary answers those questions. Because the sort of answers I've got, questions I've got, all the things we don't know, like about the 10th of January, about the welfare check. We don't know that email that apparently she sent to her boss just before 9 o'clock the morning she disappeared. What did it say? What was the email about? Who is her boss? You never hear anything about them. There's so many things that haven't been made public knowledge, and people might say, oh, well, it doesn't have to be public knowledge. But, well, yeah, it does, because everybody's still talking about it. And it's all the discrepancies in everything, So anyway. Yeah, why did we not see the car leave the driveway? Why did we not just see all the CCTV? So we've just seen like a still here and a still there. And there were stills. We've never seen the CCTV just rolling why not? What difference could that make to anybody's privacy? Just seeing them come out, get into the car, obviously blocking out the children's faces, come out, get into the car, and Nikki drive away. Why? So these are things that just look ridiculous. Lots of things that we don't know. Good dance face there. So I presume you'll be doing this Channel 5 interview, this next one on the 2nd of February. It'll have probably already been recorded by now. But the thing is, he is a friend of Emma's. He is a friend of Emma's. There's been pictures of him with Emma from way before what happened with Nikki, so he knows Emma. Yeah. There's lots of information that was never released, and to me, it just, I can understand. Yeah, some of it you can understand maybe, but that CCTV is a big thing for me. I don't necessarily think the CCTV was faked. I don't know. I don't know enough about CCTV, but I still don't understand why they just didn't show the whole thing, you know, from them coming out, loading the kids in the car, loading the dog in the car, you know, not stills from it, but actual CCTV. And then Nikki getting in the car, going to the, you know, driving off. Why not? You know, of course, it's just weird for me. And yeah, well, exactly, Desi. It wouldn't have gripped the nation if it would have been straightforward. I mean, there's loads of cases. There's cases all the time. And once people find out what's happened, then they stop being interested in it. The difference with this case is people have never really felt like, you know, they really know what happened. That's the reason. Hi, Ruth. Oh, Ruth, you're going into hospital. I hope it's nothing serious. Yeah, oh, and that's besides Charlie, the man in black and the screams. That's a whole nother thing. People who've not been accounted for, you know, just dismissed, brought up at the inquest, the man in black. Why even be brought up if he was just going to be dismissed? And the screams. Sort of brought up like just something to make you wonder a little bit more. And a man who was never accounted for, the man in black, he's never come forward. As far as we know, we didn't even know about him until the inquest. So, yes, hope all goes well, Ruth. Hope it's nothing serious. I hope you'll be back out again for the Burns night. Right, I'm reading the chat now. That's always when I know that I'm getting tired. And so I finally got there with Am. Sorry, I nearly took myself off the stage then. The stage, they call it. Didn't I? Ah, good, Ruth. Hopefully hopefully it goes well then. Well, you know what, Annie, we'll never know, will we? Unless there are more investigations taking place. Maybe there are that we don't know about, but I just don't know. I really, really don't know. You know, what can you say about you know, we've followed it. We've all followed it. We all care about what happened to Nikki. I just do not believe it was an accident. And I do not believe that she deleted herself, or I'm very reluctant to believe that, though I think that's more likely than an accident. But I just think if somebody was, nobody's ever done that before in that river. You know, normally when people do things like that, there are places where people, you know, people go to places where they, you know, that are well known for that sort of thing. You couldn't guarantee, if you were thinking, I know that people's mind is not in the right place when they're thinking about deleting themselves. But if you were to delete, I mean, I've been there next to that river, and I'm telling you what, if you were considering doing something to yourself, that is not where you would go, because you could not be sure. It's too shallow. You could not be sure that you would be successful. So unless you're you know, really wanting to hurt yourself, like you might go into a big body of water, like deep water, you know, I can see how people would do that, but I just cannot see, having seen that tiny little river where you can actually see down to the bottom. And you just think, God, you're just going to hurt yourself on the stones. You wouldn't even guarantee that you're going to drown because there's not enough water in there. You know, literally, if you were thinking about that logically, now I know Nikki went there often, and maybe it had crossed her mind, and maybe she wanted to do it there because it's a place she loved going to. But just having been there, honestly, and I understand how it feels to want to take yourself off this planet. There are times, I've been there, like thought about it, and that would not be a place where I would think about doing it, because it just isn't a place where you feel that it would be successful. So why would you do it? Because you'd probably just end up hurting yourself and feeling right idiot, because you just, I don't know, but anyway. And I think in my eyes, there wasn't a long enough gap for her to not be seen. She would have been seen if she would have jumped in that river, or she would have been found that first day. So that's my opinion anyway. Yeah, she would have been seen. I still don't necessarily feel that she was actually there, but I can't prove that, or it just doesn't make sense. It all comes down to the fact it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. What I'm going to do at some point over the weekend, I'm going to go through the time. I hate the timeline. The timeline in the Fitbit, to me, are just like, people talk about it incessantly, arguing over 1 minute here and 1 minute there, or the Fitbit this. Is just a constant thing that gets absolutely nowhere. But I'll go through the official timeline, and I just think it's rubbish. But I don't know. We just don't know. At the end of the day, Nikki was found in the river in the end. How she got there is another question. How long she'd been in there, nothing's conclusive. You don't have any faith in the autopsy report. There's nothing that you have faith in, nothing that you think, oh yeah, that definitely proves that. There's nothing. So yeah, too many things. So just reading that, you can see all those different things. And there'll always be like a couple of things, and everything in itself doesn't mean anything, but you put all those things together and they do mean something. So that's it. It's not just one thing. It's not just the CCTV. It's not just the timeline. It's not just the Fitbit. It's not just the this or the just. It's everything put together. Doesn't make sense, isn't it? So anyway, so we'll be talking about that quite a lot over the next few days as it's coming up. It's the year from when it happened or when she went missing. Where we go after that, I don't know, because this part of me just wants to leave that case behind completely, because it always I know now, that over this next week or so, or over the weekend when I'm talking about Nicola, I'll get a load of trolling, hate, this, that and the other, that I don't get when I do other cases. But I know I'm going to get it, but I'm still going to do it. It won't stop me doing it. I'll do it when I feel like doing it, and nobody's going to bully me into not doing it. But it's not very nice. That's the only thing that I'll say. So I'm not looking forward to that. But anyway, we're still going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to love you and leave you, as they say, but I will be back tomorrow night for the Members Live. So remember to live and love very wisely, very carefully. Lots of prayers going out tonight for Amber, for the case that I did tonight, but also prayers going out for Nicola's family, for her girls especially, because coming up to this year on, that'll be another difficult sort of anniversary, isn't it, if you like. There'll be her birthday, the first birthday without their mum. that you know, I'm not sure when their birthdays are, but maybe they've gone through birthdays without their mum. Then there was Christmas without their mum, New Year, and now it's coming up to the year's anniversary. So these are all difficult times for, especially for the girls, but for you know, the rest of the family as well. So you know, prayers going out for them as well. But, so thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye bye. Night night.